People changed in front of cameras, caught doing things no one could explain. Whether it was possession, panic, or something far darker, one thing is certain. These are the moments where everything went wrong. So let's watch. Two strange cases of possession were reported, one in the UK and another in Romania. In the first case, a woman was inside a church in the UK. Everything looked normal. But when the priest walked toward her, something inside her suddenly reacted. The woman lifted off the ground for a brief moment and started shouting loudly. The priest and everyone around looked confused, not understanding what was happening. A few seconds later, the woman ran out of the church, but everyone there felt it. Something inside her did not like that place.
In the name of Jesus, I command the spirit to leave. Oh my God! What's happening? Stay with me, sister.
She's
Stay
off ground.
With me. Lord, have mercy.
Jesus! Oh my God!
The second case came from Romania. A pale woman was brought into a church for an exorcism. As the priest began praying, her body suddenly jerked and flipped backward in a strange motion. She screamed, struggled, and then collapsed. Whatever was inside her clearly didn't want to leave.
In the name of the Lord, I command this spirit to leave this child, Mom. Leave that! She's on the wall, by his blood, release her!
Secret possession. A strange video from an unknown source left viewers confused. It showed a secret room filled with crosses of different sizes on the walls. Suddenly, the crosses began moving on their own. A priest in the room looked worried, not knowing what was causing it. Then the camera caught a woman standing nearby. She had an eerie smile, and her eyes seemed to glow in the dark.
Thomas! Thomas!
John, the crosses. We need to secure the room.
It looked like she was controlling everything around her. Many people believed it showed real possession. Some even said it was part of an old hidden experiment. Paranormal activity. A husband and wife had just moved into a new house. It was their first night there, and everything seemed fine at first. Then, something unexpected happened. Chairs started sliding on their own. Doors slammed shut.
Yeah, just rinse it. I'll grab it in a...
Oh my God!
And the husband was pushed by an unseen force. Whatever was there clearly didn't like their presence. The couple panicked, realizing this place wasn't safe for them. The entire incident was caught on CCTV, and it looked like a scene from a horror movie, but it was completely real, and staying there was no longer an option. Vatican possession. In the Vatican, a woman believed to be possessed was brought to the church. When the priest came close to help and understand what was wrong, the woman was suddenly pushed back by an unseen force.
Have mercy.
In the name of Jesus Christ.
Whatever entity was inside her was keeping distance, not allowing the priest to reach her. After a tense struggle, the woman eventually recovered. But everyone there knew one thing for sure. Whatever had controlled her once could still return.
By the power given to the church, be gone. You will not claim her soul.
Failed attempt. Back in 2007, in Romania, a woman became violently possessed by a powerful demon. Multiple priests were called to help and attempt an exorcism. But before they could even begin, the demon took full control of her. She screamed violently, thrashing as if trying to break free. Then, suddenly, she levitated off the ground. Terrified, all the priests ran away, unable to face what they were witnessing. The woman eventually lost her life, and the demon remained with her until the very end, claiming her completely. Paranormal investigation. A team of paranormal investigators went to an old prison in England called The Cage. At night, they decided to do a seance to contact the spirits believed to be inside. One member stayed in another room and watched. During the seance, the woman leading it suddenly went quiet. Her face started to look different, and her eyes seemed to change color. Her expression looked strange, like it wasn't her anymore. After a few seconds, she quietly walked away. The others looked at each other in silence. Something was clearly wrong. But what could it be? Theater screamer. In 2015, after a late-night show in a Brno theater, one woman remained seated in the empty auditorium. The staff asked her to leave, but she didn't move, and her head was hanging low. Suddenly, She snapped up and screamed a chilling sound that filled the room. She leapt across the rows with impossible speed, knocking over chairs. The camera shook violently. When authorities arrived, 2 people were found injured and the woman vanished. There were only overturned chairs and a presence that felt inhuman. Broken reflection. In 2016, a 14-year-old girl recorded a short video in her bedroom while getting ready to go out. Standing in front of an old mirror, she brushed her hair, adjusted a strand, and turned to wave at the camera. But her reflection didn't follow. In the footage, the image remained behind, staring and then began screaming. Its mouth stretched unnaturally wide as it pounded against the glass. When she turned back, she screamed. The phone dropped, and the mirror was later found cracked from the inside. Woman levitation. CCTV captured a woman sleeping on a couch when something strange happened. In the middle of the night, her body slowly lifted into the air. Her pet dog started barking loudly and woke up, clearly disturbed. The woman opened her eyes, shocked and confused about what had just happened. It felt like an unseen force was nearby, or maybe something inside her had taken control for a moment. Silent visitor. A school security camera recorded a classroom door opening by itself. Moments later, a barefoot girl, dressed in home clothes, walked into the empty room. She quietly said, "Come," and suddenly turned her head as if someone was behind her. At that exact moment, a chair crashed to the floor. She calmly walked out of the door. The principal later revealed that rumors of a ghost girl had circulated for years, and this was not the first time something unexplainable was captured. Night shift. 2 doctors were working the night shift in a hospital morgue. While inside the refrigeration unit, a freezer drawer suddenly slid open on its own, startling them. Moments later, the body on the stretcher appeared to move, sending both into panic. Terrified and unable to explain what they saw, they spent the rest of the night waiting for sunrise. Soon after, both doctors resigned. Abandoned house mystery. Let's head to Mexico, where an old house had been abandoned for many years. A man recently bought it and stayed for the first night. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. When he went to check, he saw a creepy figure inside, pale skin, glowing eyes, staring right at him. The man was terrified. The figure eventually disappeared. Later, locals revealed the house's dark secret. A woman had lost her life there. That's why the house had always been abandoned. Whenever anyone enters, she is said to appear. Creepy stalker. A man heard strange noises in the middle of the night and didn't think much of it at first. The next day, when he reviewed his CCTV footage, he was shocked. A woman appeared at the window, staring inside the house, watching everything carefully. Her eyes glowed in an eerie way, and her movements were unnatural, almost like she wasn't fully human. He had no idea why she was there or what she wanted. The sight left him deeply unsettled. Even now, he can't be sure she won't return. Jen answered. A man living alone in a haunted house fell to his knees, praying to Jesus for protection from the evil he sensed around him. Suddenly, the house seemed to respond. The air grew heavy, the room shook, and objects flew violently across the walls. Lights flickered as chaos erupted.
Take these demons away from my house.
Not fleeing, but reacting to his prayer. Terrified, the man bolted out of the room. The last recorded moment captured his desperate escape. Was it a demon enraged by holy words or a disturbed jinn? What do you think about this? Haunted apartment. These friends lived in an apartment where strange things often happened, though they never really believed in it. One night, while going downstairs, they saw a dark, ghostly figure on the stairs. Terrified, they ran away as fast as they could. After that night, they finally realized the apartment was truly haunted. Staying there wasn't safe anymore, and moving out suddenly felt like the only option to stay out of danger. Roadside phantom. CCTV footage captures a motorcyclist stopping abruptly when he spots what appears to be a girl standing in the middle of the road. But before he can react, the figure vanishes into thin air, leaving him stunned and frozen with shock. Viewers are divided. Some claim it's a ghost, others insist it's a black-eyed child, while a few call it a hoax. Whatever it was, the mysterious encounter has left people questioning what really happened that night. Mysterious pull. A CCTV camera caught a terrifying moment at a workplace lake. A worker was pulled into the water while on his break. His coworker tried to save him, but couldn't. Moments later, a dark entity ran toward the second man at full speed. Somehow, the second guy managed to escape. The entity moved unnaturally fast, powerful and terrifying. After that day, everyone knew the lake held something dangerous, something no one dared to return to. Shadowy figure. During a routine patrol, officers reviewed CCTV footage and saw something unsettling. A girl was walking alone on a deserted road late at night when a blurry, shadowy figure appeared behind her. The figure flickered and trembled, then suddenly changed direction and vanished into the dark valley. Its sudden appearance and disappearance remain unexplained, and so the mystery remains unresolved. Unseen human figure. A man was recording his daughter while she played, and everything seemed normal at the time. Later, when he watched the video again, he was shocked. On the wall above her, a human-like figure could be seen, pressed up high. He checked the same spot again, but there was nothing there. Still, the camera clearly showed the figure. Staying in that house was about to feel very uneasy. Eerie guy. Security footage captured a moment that left everyone disturbed. A man walked up to a house in the middle of the night and began licking the doorbell. At first, it seemed like a strange joke, but he didn't stop. Minutes turned into hours, and he kept doing it for nearly 3 straight hours. The homeowner only discovered it after checking the footage the next day. No one knew who the man was or why he did it. Some believed it wasn't normal behavior at all, maybe possession or something even darker behind it. Apartment mystery. A woman's ring cam captured something strange outside her apartment. A man was acting weird, as if fighting with something invisible. Suddenly, another apartment door opened on its own, even though no one lived there. It looked like there was a connection, like some unseen force was trying to pull him inside. The man struggled and eventually walked away, but no one knew who or what he had been dealing with. The footage left everyone unsettled, and the mystery of that night remains unsolved. Mysterious old woman. In Iraq, a cop patrolling a rural area noticed an old woman standing by the roadside. Her face had an eerie expression, and she wasn't speaking. Something about her looked off, almost creepy, so he didn't stay and left quickly. Locals later said she was often seen in that area, but no one knew anything about her. Whoever she was, or whatever she was, remained a mystery, and everyone agreed it was better not to get too close. Bathroom ghost. A young man had just stepped out of the bathroom after taking a shower and was drying his hair with a towel when a shadowy figure suddenly appeared behind him. The figure tried to reach out to grab him. Instinctively, he lunged forward, barely escaping the shadow's grasp. Shocked, he later went back to check the bathroom but found nothing there. No shadow, no movement, and no sign that anyone or anything was inside. Black magic. A corpse was seen on CCTV repeatedly banging on a door. The house owner said this started the day his sister passed away, and claimed that her ghost now visits different houses every night. Villagers, however, believe it is the result of satanic rituals, as the girl used to practice black magic. The eerie footage has left people terrified, and many fear encountering the mysterious spirit in their own homes. Abandoned building encounter. A YouTuber in Mexico was exploring an abandoned building that no one had lived in for years. The place looked empty and forgotten. As he moved through one of the rooms, he suddenly saw a man standing in the corner. The man's face was covered with plastic, making it impossible to see who he was. The YouTuber froze in shock. The man tried to say something, moving his hands as if he needed help or wanted him to leave. The tension was too much. The YouTuber slowly backed away and left the building. Midnight levitation. A woman kept having the same nightmare every night, so she placed a camera in her room to record herself while sleeping. When she checked the footage, something was seriously wrong. In the middle of the night, her body slowly lifted into the air. Now she has no idea what to do. Fainted mid-session. In Abuja, a shocking moment unfolded on live TV when the NDDC boss suddenly fainted. His eyes stayed wide open, and he didn't say a word, as if something unseen had taken control of him. People around him panicked, rushing to help, unsure how to react. The crew and onlookers were frozen with worry, trying everything to make him respond. Eventually, he was taken to the hospital and recovered physically, but no one could explain what had caused the strange behavior. Everyone present was left shaken and confused. Midnight scare. If you saw a closet slowly opening in the middle of the night, it would be terrifying, right? And that's exactly what happened to a girl. She saw the closet move and looked inside. A woman with a pale face. An eerie smile was there. At first, she thought it was her mom, but soon realized something was wrong. Her mother's body was under the control of a dark entity. The girl was frozen in fear, knowing there was nothing she could do while it happened. Mysterious woman. At a party in Peru, everything seemed normal at first. One woman stood out, though she was playing with the kids, but something about her expression wasn't right. She moved and smiled like everyone else, but it felt off, almost unnatural. People were surprised to see her there, yet no one questioned it at the moment. Later, it was revealed that no one had invited her. No one knew who she was. She had been there the whole time, unnoticed, and yet completely out of place. Strange guy. Outside a store in California, a man was spotted standing in a strange way. He wasn't moving, just standing still, but his eyes kept flickering. His mouth moved in a weird, unnatural way, like he was trying to say something.
I don't know what this is. Excuse me for the people walking through, but this is a guy that's possessed. I'm sitting out here in my car, TikTok friends and family.
People passing by avoided him, feeling uneasy and unsure what was happening. No one dared to approach, and the scene left everyone confused. Whatever had taken hold of him, or whatever he had become, was something no one could explain that day.
And I've been watching him for a while, but he goes in and out. He come back. And yes, I hope you guys can get a good picture of him. But this is possessed.
Store peeking. CCTV at a store captured something otherworldly late at night. The store was closed, but a woman-like figure appeared outside the door, looking inside. Her skin was pale, and her eyes glowed unnaturally. She moved and shouted in an eerie, unsettling way. No one knew who or what she was. The footage left everyone confused and uneasy, raising questions about the mysterious figure that appeared when no one expected her. Ghost unleashed. Back in 2018, there was a school in Indonesia with a room that had been locked for many years. No one was allowed to enter. One curious kid tried to open it, and as soon as the door gave way, a shadowy figure burst out at full speed. It felt like everything trapped inside had been set free. The child saw it clearly and ran away terrified. Later, it was said that a ghostly entity had been locked there years ago. Because of the kid, it was now free, and no one knows how to contain it again. Unseen presence. A worker was seen on CCTV having a full conversation, smiling, nodding, and even pulling a chair to offer someone a seat beside him. He spoke clearly, as if another person was sitting there. But when others reviewed the footage, there was no one next to him. The space was completely empty. Later, they asked who he had been talking to. He calmly replied that it was David. The shocking truth was that David had lost his life just a few hours earlier. For everyone watching, it felt like David had never truly left. Shadowy figure. Back in 1999, a strange incident happened inside a hotel in Colorado. A man was walking down the hallway toward his room when a dark, shadowy figure suddenly jumped at him. It came out of a room that had been locked for many years. The door was never supposed to open. The man somehow managed to escape and ran away in fear. After that night, the hotel was sealed and later abandoned. Since then, no one has gone back inside, and no one knows how many more of those figures could still be waiting there. demonic figure. A man had been suffering from constant nightmares, so a thermal camera was set up to record him while he slept. The normal camera didn't capture anything unusual. Everything looked completely normal. But when they checked the thermal footage, the situation turned terrifying. A dark, demon-like figure could be seen right beside him, close to the bed. It appeared clearly on the thermal view, even though nothing was visible to the naked eye. The man had no idea what was near him each night. The footage made it clear. Something was always there. Restless Jinn. An imam was leading prayer when a man in the first row who was possessed by a jinn began acting strangely. As the Quran was recited, the jinn writhed in pain, screaming and curling to the ground, unable to withstand the holy verses. In Islamic teachings, evil spirits cannot harm anyone during Quranic recitation. The terrifying scene left worshippers stunned, showing the jinn's helplessness against the power of the Quran.
فإن تولوا فقل آذنتكم على سواء وإن أدري.
Haunted Hospital. While exploring an abandoned hospital, this man spotted a ghostly figure dressed as a patient in an operating room.
Hey, what's up?
Startled, he began scanning the area frantically, shining his flashlight into the dark corners of the rooms. Despite his thorough search, he found no one there. The eerie emptiness confirmed his worst suspicions, convincing him that the figure was supernatural. Terrified, he immediately fled the haunted building. Demonic possession. This girl's friend was casually recording her on an ordinary day when things took a terrifying turn. Suddenly, the girl began acting strangely, stretching her mouth unnaturally wide and moving in ways no human could. It became clear she was possessed by a demon, an affliction that caused her to act bizarrely from time to time. This moment was one of those rare instances, and her friend managed to capture the unsettling behavior on camera. Talking ghost. A security guard was standing outside talking to someone when his colleague called out and asked who he was speaking to. The guard calmly replied that he was talking to the resident of house number 125. His colleague then revealed to him that the resident had departed several weeks ago and that no one was actually there.
Sí, ¿con quién está hablando ahí luego usted?
Una secretaria de la casa 125.
Marica, la propietaria de la casa 125 falleció hace como unos 20 días, marica.
Paralyzed with fear, the guard froze for a moment, then hurriedly ran back to the security room. He was shocked and unable to explain what he had just witnessed. Fought back. Security footage shows a man being chased late at night. When the pursuer catches him and drags him down to rob him, something unbelievable happened. A dark, shadowy figure appeared and rose from the victim's body and confronted the robber. The thief stumbled back and ran away in terror, saving his life. Moments later, the shadow slipped back into the man as if nothing happened. The person reviewing the footage became convinced that the man was possessed. Family of Shadow. CCTV footage from a man's building captured an unsettling scene. A family of shadows emerging from a house which seemingly walked into the wall across the road. Three shadowy humanoid figures moved together, their forms dark and indistinct. A nearby biker, unaware of them, remained frozen in place, while a child who likely saw the figures panicked and ran from the scene. The haunting footage has left everyone baffled, questioning what strange forces were at play that night. The Wandering Possessed. A man reviewed his home security footage after dogs barked at a strange humanoid creature with torn clothes and its limbs were proportionally oversized than its body. Locals claimed he was possessed and wandered endlessly in a bizarre, distorted form. This has always sparked fear and panic in people wherever he appeared. Vanished after closing. A cleaner was tidying up the bar after closing when suddenly, a chair slid across the floor on its own, startling him. He froze, trying to process what had just happened, unable to make sense of it. Moments later, he slowly walked out of the camera's frame and vanished entirely. Despite searches and investigations, the cleaner was never seen again. Ever since, the bar is shrouded in mystery and fear. The Legless Walker. In security footage, a group of friends was laughing and chatting in a dim hallway when the mood suddenly changed. A mysterious figure appeared in the background, walking upright, but without any legs, its torso hovering unnaturally. One friend noticed it first, but soon the others saw it too. Shocked and terrified by the impossible sight, the group stopped laughing and bolted in a panicked rush. They left the hallway empty and silent, haunted by what they just witnessed. Ghostly footsteps. A team of cleaners was working on the 3rd floor of a nursing home when they heard a door squeak mysteriously behind them. As they discussed it nervously,
I'm not the only one that heard that.
a sudden loud bang echoed through the corridor, terrifying everyone. They bolted from the floor, unable to explain what had just occurred.
This one time when I was in the hallway, and
Later, when security footage was reviewed, faint, ghostly footsteps were seen moving across the hallway, leaving everyone puzzled and spooked. Haunted bar. A man was sitting alone at the cash counter of a quiet bar when something strange suddenly happened. Several glass jars flew off a shelf and shattered on the floor, as if pushed by an unseen force. The crash startled him. According to him, unexplained disturbances like this had occurred before. So the question is, what's really going on there? Elevator to hell. Security footage showed a woman entering alone in an elevator, calm and unaware. Suddenly, the lights flickered and the floor numbers vanished from the display. The woman started panicking and stared at the camera for some help. After much struggle, the door opened to an unknown floor with darkness all around. The woman still got off, just never to be seen again. The officials said it was just a mechanical failure, but no one ever explained why the woman who stepped inside was never seen again. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. In China, a strange incident was caught on CCTV outside an apartment. A woman noticed a man behaving oddly, creepy, unnatural movements, and gestures that didn't make sense. Something about him felt very wrong. And even the woman was visibly shocked. The footage captured everything clearly, but no one could explain who he was or what he was doing. After that day, the man was never seen again.